20-minute video on Last Epoch.
Hello travelers, I'm Judd Kobler, game director for Last Epoch and founder of 11th Hour Games. I'm excited to tell you more about the long-anticipated content coming in Season 2, called Tombs of the Erased, releasing on April 17th. For Season 2, we took more time and focused on the things that our players were telling us they'd like to see next, like expanding the endgame, more content variety, balance, and more. Season 2 is truly a massive update, and there's plenty to cover, so let's dive in. In Season 2, you
A little bit weird. Should actually not staring at the camera. It makes me uncomfortable. I think he's got a teleprompter, though. So he's like, damn, that's going to be extra levels of professionalism. But actually, it just, it's a little bit confronting.
are introduced to the Woven, a new in-game faction. Their followers worship the Weaver, a titan who seeks to create a new world free from the void and other imperfections. When exploring the Monolith of Fate, you'll encounter procedurally generated tombs and cemetery side zones, in which the Weaver has been experimenting with souls and memories to make her new world. The Woven seek to perfect the Weaver's design by sending the traveler to the tombs and cemeteries to cull her flawed creations. These tomb and cemetery side zones are the foundation for interacting with our new in-game systems in Season 2. Inside these zones, you'll find the Woven, who have captured souls for the Weaver and wrapped them in cocoons. Breaking these cocoons open will release the souls, which will then flee and possess nearby enemies. Possessed enemies gain new abilities and increased health and damage, and when slain drop Memory Amber, a new currency used in the Weaver faction. You'll want to collect as much Memory Amber as you can throughout the zones. Tombs and cemeteries will end with a unique boss fight that, if completed, will reward you with the ability to access the Woven Enchanter, which can enchant one of your class-specific idols. Enchanting an idol via the Woven Enchanter will add a new affix of a random tier and an amount of Weaver's Touch. Weaver's Touch is converted to randomly upgrade the affix applied and/or add an additional affix to the idol that can also be upgraded if there's additional Weaver's Touch to be converted, much like the Weaver's Will mechanic. These may have up to 2 enchanted affixes total. This conversion of Weaver's Touch happens as you gain experience while having the idol equipped. The first enchantment of an idol is free. Re-enchanting the same idol costs Memory Amber each time and re-rolls a new enchantment affix, replacing the previous affixes.
Spam it?
To keep non-class idols competitive, we've added new idol subtypes with more powerful modifiers as well. Completing a cemetery, the larger of the 2 types of side zones, will also give access to an altar of the Weaver. Altars are used to place the Weaver's constructed realities into the Echo Web, which take form as and are called Woven Echoes. Woven Echoes are a new special itemized type of echoes, glimpses into the Weaver's new world that introduce a lot of exciting new content and rewards to Last Epoch's endgame. These drop from enemies within tombs and cemeteries and can be purchased from the Woven faction NPC, Mask. Woven Echoes will provide new challenges and objectives, such as access to brand new bosses like the Quin and Ignixoros the Antipode Dragon, or enhanced versions of existing bosses like Majasa with new abilities, and even an Uber version of the pinnacle boss Aberoth introduced in Season 1. But beware, defeating Uber Aberoth is only accomplishable by the most skilled players and powerful characters in Eterra. There are many powerful rewards tied to Woven Echoes, such as unique forges giving you special ways to craft items not found anywhere else in the game.
No doubt.
Access to new unique items only.
The game, like obviously behind PvE2 and then looking at this gameplay, there's a level of jank there that's just like you can't. It's hard to look past. But then I think once you get into it, it feels kind of good. Like that, at least killing trash mobs and clearing feels good. My issue was that the bosses always felt real jank, and looking at that boss fight there, it looked kind of jank. Hard to describe. It's just everything from the way the abilities are telegraphed to the execution of them. I don't know. I do need to test it out though. I do need to give it a vibe check. Little vibe check on the bosses, see if they've improved the bosses, perhaps.
Found by defeating these bosses, and even ways to accelerate in-game progression for alt characters by bringing a timeline's corruption up to match the corruption of another character's timeline. We'll go over some Woven Echoes momentarily. So far, there are 37 different types of Woven Echoes being introduced with Season 2, and more to come. Once you've found and completed your first cemetery, you'll catch the attention of Mask, the Weaver's High Priest, who will bring you to the Haven of Silk to tell you more about the Woven and then invite you to join them. Joining and gaining rank with the Woven will allow you to unlock more Woven Echoes and give you access and points to spend in the new Weaver's Tree. The Weaver's Tree allows you to influence the encounters and rewards in the Monolith of Fate, providing more agency over your in-game experience.
Kind of like a Atlas.
Some options include having a chance for Arena Echoes to be replaced with Super Arena Echoes, which
they're allowed to get inspired by PoE. PoE takes Last Epoch mechanics sometimes, so alright, they're allowed to, like, this is ethical.
Champion enemies, or having items with Weaver's Will be rolled twice and keeping the higher value of the two. Or sometimes letting a Shade of Orbis ambush you in your Echoes for additional drops and challenge. Some key nodes allow items and Woven Echoes to be imprinted into the tree, yielding different effects. Like imprinting a Woven Echo, giving it a chance to spawn in your Echo Web without placing it via the altar of the Weaver in cemeteries. Or imprint an item to make it so that an item of the same type and rarity is granted as an additional reward when completing Echoes. Or imprint an item and there will be a chance for enemies in regular Echoes to drop a pile of items similar to the imprint.
I would not be surprised if this gets put into PoE. That is such a good idea. That is such a good idea. What the hell? No, they always talk about how they don't want smart loot and they kind of have to drop everything, but they know that smart loot would be better. But then sometimes people want like a base type that's not very common, and you know we have to drop everything equally. And it's one of those things where he's saying, hey, look, you can just put an item in to your fucking Atlas tree, and then it's more likely to drop that item. What the fuck? That's such a good idea. What, as if that's so good for like farming a base type that you want. That's really cool. That's really cool. That's fucking steal that right now, GGG. Steal it, bro. To basically have a bias for certain item types, like that you're trying to look for. Now, this is obviously from a solo self-found perspective. You know, just having a little bit more control over what's dropping and why. Like, I wish I could say, hey, look, I'm going to put this fucking mace, right? I'm going to put this two-handed mace into this slot. And now it's more likely to drop two-handed maces of that type, right? And, you know, and obviously that would take away from the drop chance of two-handed swords and two-handed, whatever the fuck. I would totally be on board with that. Now, obviously in Trade League, it's just going to be like, okay, what is the rarest base that everyone wants? And everyone's going to do the same thing. But for SSF, this would be an amazing utility.
There are many fun and exciting options in the Weaver's Tree that allow you to shape your end-game experience and loot hunt. We can't wait to hear your feedback. Now that we've covered the basics, let's talk about a bit more of the interesting itemization and crafting options coming with Season 2, largely enabled via these Woven Echoes. In Season 2, we're introducing set item crafting, which can be accessed via the Great Bridge Woven Echo. Shattering a set item grants you 1 to 4 set affix shards you can then use to craft your own reforged set items. Each set item is associated with one specific shard unique to that set item that when crafted onto an item makes it act as that set item. This means that you can craft your own reforged set items that count for the set's bonuses, and you can mix and match these by using the original set items together with the reforged set items. You can craft these on—
Wait, so you make any item to set item. Why not just delete set items? And then just put those fucking set bonuses like on passive tree shit. I mean, it's kind of like reverse engineering a set item. But fair enough, an items. I mean, yeah, there you go, dude. Fuck it. I mean, fuck it. Set items are pretty shit, nice book for my. Yeah, I hate set items. Like people should make their own sets. Like deleting set items means everything's a set item, and then it's better because then you make your own set item. Versus like arbitrarily bonus for having these particular items on at the same time equals now you've got to use these items and now you're forced, and basically set items piss me off, right? Because of the fact that you get forced into using like 4 of this item, so then you have 4 item slots that you can no longer use how you want. Now obviously what they've done now is they said you can make any item a set item, but then it's might as well just make no item a set item. It's the same thing, but they're doing it backwards.
To different item subtypes, only one type of set affix shard can be applied to any individual item, and this item cannot be used in legendary crafting via the Eternity Cache. We're also adding the ability to re-roll the legendary potential of uniques via the Far Sight Turtle Woven Echo. The unique must have at least one...
You've been bricked by Diablo 3 and thinking set items are good. Just because like Diablo 3 had something that said 20,000% damage with this fucking set equipped equal good. It's Blizzard's dogshit design of like, you must put on 4 of these pieces. It's lazy ass fucking design. It makes balancing a lot easier, right? Because you can force players to wear a bunch of the same gear, and then you just tweak the set bonus and tweak the items that people are forced into wearing. It's some brain-dead World of Warcraft design, trash, dog shit. It's far better. They just want players to be forced to upgrade their gear. It's like, hey, how can we force players to upgrade their gear so that way we can incentivize them to go to these new places and get this new loot? That's literally what set items are designed for. It's fucking dog shit. Better design is... There are no set items, and you just put on the item that you think is best for your character, and that is your set. That's what's... Okay, fuck set items.
Legendary potential. Rerolling the legendary potential possesses quite a significant risk, as if the legendary potential fails to go up, it will instead go down all the way to 0. This is a worthy risk, as many times to get an upgrade, you need to have more than one legendary potential. And even in the case that it ends up going down to 0, you can then attempt to upgrade it again via the Nemesis Egg, providing multiple new chances to turn an item that might not be an upgrade into an upgrade. In the Orden's Watch Woven Echo, you can replace attributes, strength, dexterity, attunement, or intelligence, with another, as long as the affix isn't sealed. This costs 1 fortune potential from the item. The tier and roll range of the replaced affix will be preserved for the new affix. In the Gauntlet of Strife Woven Echo, you'll be challenged by a sequence of boss encounters, and by completing, you'll be rewarded with access to the Sacrificial Altar, which can be used to sacrifice a unique, legendary, Weaver's Will item or set item to re-roll the mod and implicit values of a matching item. The item being sacrificed needs to have equal or greater legendary potential or Weaver's Will. Rune of Research and Glyph of Insight have been removed and replaced by the Thaumaturgy device at the end of the Rune Prison Complex Woven Echo, where you can replace a prefix with an experimental affix on boots, gloves, or a belt. This makes the process of crafting experimental affixes much simpler. The exiled mages you encounter will have a chance to drop this Woven Echo. We're also adding some brand new...
Is this like the purification, you know? See, this is the thing. How do you add depth, right, without increasing complexity to a point which makes it no longer fucking appealing to some new player? Because, like, looking as a person who's not a Last Epoch pro, it's like, man, there's all these new systems and all these new things, and I'm not going to do any of them. And it's like, there's a part of you that thinks, okay, that'd be kind of cool to discover them all, but at the same time, I'm going to be so much... You're going to, like, the barrier to entry is a lot higher. It's like, it's getting raised. Every time he announces some new mechanic where you can do something with some other thing, it raises the barrier to entry. And the question is it bloat or is it worth it? Like, for example, I would be reducing bloat. Like, this whole fucking thing of reverse engineering set items to be not set items, I would just be like, hey, guess what? We did a patch and we've removed set items. Or, you know, we've added to a currently existing system some new things you can do that aren't like a direct power creep, but a side grade. But obviously people like power creep. People like, oh, you just add a bonus to your currently existing thing. It's just a buff. No one's going to complain.
Crafting materials, such as Rune of Weaving, which speeds up your Weaver's Will and Weaver's Touch item conversions. Using a Rune of Weaving will convert some Weaver's Will or Touch to add additional affixes or affix tiers like you would gain by slaying enemies with the item equipped. Rune of Havoc, which shuffles the tiers of affixes of an exalted item. Sealed affixes are unaffected by this.
Weaver's Cockass was like some shit you'd have on your item, right? And then as you played the game, it would go down, and then your mods would go up on your item. Your item would, like, upgrade over time.
All you need to do to get the best gear is put the item in the woven egg, then take it to the Nemesis altar, reroll it twice there, then take it to the Terraforge and transmute it up to 6 times. After you find the Apex coin, then you have the final form.
I don't know if he's joking. I think it's a joke. But, like, when he said the Nemesis egg that comes from, like, items so you could try again, I'm like, what the fuck? Wait, that doesn't... Wait, you can't indefinitely Nemesis egg, right? The item will brick eventually. Because if they make unbreakable items, that's going to be lame. Because then it turns it into, like, a less RNG and more of a deterministic grind, which I'm not a fan of. I like RNG factors. Most times a brick. You get one bonus try. It should definitely be brickable. Absolutely should brick items in the Last Epoch. It'd be like that would be a terrible system if you could just indefinitely egg your item. I don't quite understand how the egg works, but I just kind of like that's the kind of vibe I was getting, like a retry.
For example, you could potentially use the Rune of Havoc to change Tier 1 Strength to Tier 7 on an item that had a different affix at Tier 7 previously. Rune of Redemption, which rerolls exalted affixes to other affixes, preserving tier and roll range. Again, sealed affixes are unaffected. Another crafting update we believe you guys will be excited about is when using the Eternity Cache in Temporal Sanctum, Tier 2 or above, you may now select one affix that is guaranteed to be applied to the legendary that you're about to create. Season 2 brings an additional...
This must be what it's like to watch a PoE video though, right? Because I look at the PoE stuff and I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool, that's a great idea, it's real simple. But then I'm watching this and I just don't know all the terminologies and it's just like, huh? It's a lot of it's gone over my head where I'm wondering what I don't actually... I mean, I kind of see what he's doing there, but at the same time, it's...
challenge for
it does seem like... wow. I'm just thinking to myself, like, if I'm a new player, this is so confusing.
Players with newly introduced champion enemies that spawn in the campaign, monolith, and dungeon. Champions are powerful versions of enemies with additional and altered abilities that spawn with 3 additional random modifiers, including 1 champion mod. They drop extra loot when killed and even have a small chance to drop much rarer loot, like a pile of unique items. Champions also always drop an item with a sealed champion affix that depends on the champion's mod.
Okay.
For example, a Volcano champion will always drop a belt with a Volcano champion's affix. These mods have unique affixes rarely seen elsewhere and can be very powerful when used with the correct builds.
Like fracturing the best mod.
We've made many updates to both the Monolith and dungeons. Monoliths have new objectives, like slaying enemies until a cocooned item drops, which is a unique item that has a higher chance to have legendary potential when identified, or the need to seal deadly void rifts that have begun appearing in the echoes. You can now reach empowered monoliths on alts much more quickly, as we've made characters in the same environment share Monolith of Fate timeline unlocks. We've improved arenas by having enemy waves spawn more quickly, and increased enemies' movement speed so that they don't take as long to reach you. And we've updated Echo Spire objectives so that the spires are
everything does look like the turn animation of the character whenever he swings is like it turns around to swing, the monster movement speed and the character run speed, everything just seems fast. It all feels like fast. But I guess you know, is it fast or is PoE too slow?
By a mini boss and only attack you once you've engaged the Guardian.
Bro, the zero like I don't know, the fact that your character's animation instantly turns I feel like adds to the jankiness, which is I guess why this is the reason why they said they can't port WAS to PoE 1, right? Because they don't have all those fancy animations that allow your character to feel responsive but then not look retarded, right? So when you're running to the right and then your character attacks the left, it does some custom animation where he goes like. He like turns and does some shit. Whereas in this game here, you see when he's like running left and then he turns left. There's no
spires are guarded.
It just fucking janks to the
by a mini boss and only attack you once you've engaged the Guardian. This means that they will no longer shoot at you from all the way across the map. For dungeons, we're introducing dungeon charms, which can modify a dungeon run. We're introducing 2 charms with this patch. One of which is called a portal charm that can be used to immediately portal to the boss of a dungeon and gain a random assortment of mods that you would have gained along the way. We've also added the Black Market Key Trader to Majelka's Upper District in the Divine Era, where you can exchange any 3 dungeon keys for a portal charm. In dungeons, you can now use a key to respawn either on the floor you've gotten to or at the boss, instead of needing to repeat the entire dungeon. Please, don't test this as a hardcore character. It will not save you.
Oh shit, okay.
In Season 2, the Sentinel class is receiving a ton of updates, from small adjustments to skills to fully reworking others. Paladin and Void Knight are receiving major overhauls to their mastery passive trees, and Forge Guard is receiving some additions, like a passive allowing them to wield a 2-handed weapon and a shield at the same time. Volatile Reversal has been completely reworked, including a brand new skill tree. By default, it is now a combo traversal skill, where the first use of the skill sends you forward in time to a location to strike enemies in an area, while the second use sends you back in time to your original location, once again striking enemies in that area. You can build for melee or spell damage, and the tree offers some great interaction with other skills like Devouring Orb.
The pacing of the game is so fast that it's like, hey, you're really going to use shit like that? But maybe. I mean, yeah. I could definitely think that an ability like that in World of Warcraft would be really good. But in a game like this, I don't know. How often are you going to be using that? Yes, to save you. Boom. Like, third, how often does the time reverse get used in PoE? They've had it in PoE on for a million years. No one uses it. They've got a whole time ascendancy in PoE too. No one uses it. I'm sorry, dog. Like, I don't know, man. It's like this to me just looks like the parry mechanic or active block. It's like some shit that like it sounds good on paper, but in practice, I don't know.
We've renamed Sigils of Hope to Symbols of Hope to free up the term for the planned skill sigil system coming later, and have updated its functionality. Symbols of Hope now automatically generate symbols for you, meaning no spending mana or stopping to cast it. Actively using the ability now consumes the symbols to grant ward and temporary damage reduction.
Cool, I like that.
Devouring Orb at a baseline now also deals void damage over time in an area around it, and these damaging areas can stack. Its skill tree has been updated with cool new possibilities, including a node that instantly casts it for you whenever you move. No more numlock needed, and no more getting interrupted every time it casts.
How did numlock make it in the Last Epoch, bro, as well as it was in Diablo fucking 3, bro? The numlock trick, baby. The numlock trick. Oh my god.
Most Sentinel skills received a variety of small to moderate updates to
that looks like satisfying. That looks satisfying. The little orbs floating around you and just killing
improve their power and offer additional build options. Examples include Multi-Strike that has been given more support to deal single target damage by allowing additional swords to hit the same target. Vengeance has been updated to include conversions to both fire and void. Rive can now be converted to void. Javelin's Divine Fury and Siege Barrage nodes now work together. Hammer Throw has received buffs to non-spiraling nodes. Shield Throw no longer...
The skill system is so good, by the way. Like, it's such a good system for, like... This is so good for fucking new players and just getting people into the game. I mean, I just cannot believe... I cannot believe that Deep Weston's stolen the shit. It truly blows my mind. Truly blows my mind. This is so much better, and it's so simple and easy to understand. Honestly, this is, I feel like, the best part about Last Epoch.
It has a cooldown at base and has a node to allow it to bounce from the player. And Time Rot is now a viable, distinctly unique damaging ailment for Void Knights. We're also very excited to bring a new skill to Marksman, Heartseeker. Heartseeker shoots a single target arrow that seeks a nearby targeted enemy and has a chance to recurve, meaning it pierces and comes back to hit the target again.
Yeah, wouldn't it just literally Diablo 3? Isn't it got the same name and everything?
When building for Heartseeker, you'll likely want to increase the recurve chance, allowing it to pierce and hit the same enemy many times. If the target is destroyed and Heartseeker would have recurved, it will instead seek another nearby target. Heartseeker's skill tree gives options to be converted to fire and cold, has lots of support for poison and bleed, can be used as utility to generate mana and different shrouds, and even to provide global buffs granting added throwing and spell damage. You can also remove the base functionality where Heartseeker seeks a new target after slaying the first, and instead turn those leftover recurves into puncture skill procs that fire towards nearby enemies. Heartseeker requires 30 points in the marksman
that looks fucking overtuned as fuck.
Tree, and Hail of Arrows has been moved to the 35-point skill unlock slot. Season 2 is bringing quite a lot of balance changes. Health builds are generally more effective as there is much more access to health modifiers across the game. Health affixes and health regeneration have been buffed, and health granted per level has been increased. Ward builds are still powerful, but outliers allowing for massive ward generation have been rebalanced. In general, many skills have received buffs, as our goal is to make many more builds viable for in-game.
Why is everyone doing these weird, janky-ass jump things? Is there dash in the game now? Did they just put WASD and dash in the game? So they just made the game. So does every single player have WASD and space? You could always dash and roll. I don't remember that. I remember just running along and you had leap. I remember having leap. I've not seen space. I've not seen space. This is the first time I'm seeing them do these weird dashes. Like, it keeps seeing them do these little dashes, and you ain't seen nothing yet. So the guy.
Content and previous meta builds that were overperforming have been brought in line. Skills such as Black Hole, Elemental Nova, Tornado, Flurry, and Shurikens have had their damage effectiveness increased. We expect there to be a lot of new builds that players are excited to try out in Season 2. Idle enchantments and new non-class specific Weaver idols will also raise the power level floor for all builds. Many unique items have received a pass to help make them more useful. For example, Eye of Reen can once again be used with Warpath and other skills which hit with indirect attacks. Boulder's Wrath can proc Earthquake twice as much as before, and Stormbreaker can now gain Storm stacks instead of a small chance to cast Lightning Strike. We've also applied some quality of life updates to multiple skills, like Warcry's Berserk lasting 50% longer. Dreadshade no longer has a duration. You can hold 3 black arrows from Dark Quiver at once. And we've increased the amount of shortcutting you can do with movement skills by increasing the distance you can travel with them over gaps. Loot lizards will spawn a bit less baseline in Season 2, but there will be more scenarios where you'll be excited to find them, and you can also increase their spawn rate via the Weaver tree.
Loot lizards. Yo, dog. Blizzard called and they gonna sue you, okay? Fucking loot lizards. Fucking
them, and you can also increase their spawn rate.
Fucking loot lizards. Oh my god.
Via the Weaver tree. In Season 2, we're introducing 25 new unique items. This includes 8 new Weaver's Will uniques and 4 early backer uniques. About half of these are tied to new tombs, cemeteries, and Woven Echo bosses, while the other half expand on the overarching drop pool. And there are plenty of additional improvements coming with Season 2 to be excited about. You can now respec your mastery for gold in the end of time.
I feel like they deliver, like, we increase the range of movement skills. We sped up the guys. We fucking let you respec ascendancies. We increase drop rates. Like, they're like, hey, yo, all this feedback that are getting given to, like, PoE, let's just, like, fucking take the piss and do the feedback in our own game just to fuck with people. Oh shit, bro! Oh my god, Last Epoch, like they're trying to seize the moment, aren't they? They are trying to seize the moment here. They're trying to seize the moment of, like, you know, the schism that's happening in the Path of Exile community here, and they're trying to get on board some new players, no doubt.
The cost of respecializing your mastery is a lot cheaper in the lower to mid levels, so it's easier to experiment, but it increases as your character level goes up. We're introducing a beta version of WASD movement. You can access this via the Settings gameplay menu. We'll be monitoring player feedback on this implementation, and we're excited to hear your feedback.
Default point and click keyboard movement WASD.
You can access this via the Settings gameplay menu.
We'll keyboard movement abilities. Short range follows.
Be monitoring player.
All follows cursor. All follows movements. Ooh, yeah, targeted. So wait, if they were to do all follows movements, that would mean your leap slam would follow movement. That'd be weird. You want your leap slam to go where your mouse is, right? But then you want your dash to go where you're moving. Yeah, okay. I see it. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I never even thought about that. Okay, that's cool that you got choice. I like that you got the choice.
Feedback on this implementation, and we're excited to hear your feedback. We have updated the inventory to have tabs to separate out keys and the new Woven Echoes. And we...
Yo, so you got a map stash in your inventory. Dude, this is kind of default. They're wrong. This is what this game is, bro. This game is like this game borrows elements from PoE and it borrows elements from Diablo, basically. Like Diablo 3, Diablo 4. Let's be real. Okay, there's some D4 shit, right? That's some D4 QOL. Straight up. And some default. That's what it is. It's a hybrid. It's the in between. It's the in between of like brain dead, dog shit ass, zero depth D4, but tons of quality of life. Where you fucking kill a monster, 500 things drop out, fucking it all automatically stores in some magical inventory that's infinite. And you gotta, versus like PoE feeling the weight, not enough loot is dropping. I'm not getting enough stuff. No quality life. You have to sort out everything. And they kind of somewhere in between. And the same thing with the complexity of like how skills work. Last Epoch has like pre-built, effectively support links that you can choose between. But, it's a lot more limited in terms of combinatorics as to how many builds you can have. But it's not like this shit where, do you want to pick rune A or rune B on your ability, right? Like, it's literally the in-between. It's the in-between, isn't it? And I think it's good. I think it's a good space for, I honestly, like, I feel like it's a great space for ARPG to exist in. What I hope they don't do is just overcomplicate it and put in, like, 500 systems that just bloat the fuck out of the game and just confuse everyone who comes to play it. Because, looking at some of the stuff, I was question marking, bro. And I've played, a few hundred hours of Last Epoch, so,
We've also introduced automatic storing as an option that will be on by default.
Automatically transfer stackable items to storage when looted. But there's no opportunity cost there. I don't think that's cinema. I think this is something you think you want, but you think you want it, but you actually don't.
Wow, good take, Quinn.
No, this is like saying, okay, you can start off a league, right? And you can show wisdom scrolls dropping, right? And you click them, and it feels good to click them because you don't have many wisdom scrolls, whatever. Or whatever you say, orb of transmutation. Let's not use wisdom scrolls. You can start off a league. It's showing orbs of transmutation. Okay, it's worth clicking. You use the orbs of transmutation. You need the orbs of transmutation. You pick them up and you do it. Then you get to a point where you're at like 400 orbs of transmutation, and you're in your map and you're clicking it, and it's like fuck, and you're holding it in your bag. It uses a slot. You have to spend time to pick it up, and it becomes to the point where like, why the fuck am I picking this up anymore? It's not worth me picking this up anymore. So the opportunity cost for you looting that item is now it no longer meets your threshold, so you no longer pick it up. You remove it from your loot filter. This is saying, hey, there is no choice. You just get it all always. But then it removes the weight from the item, and it makes the item feel like a number in a spreadsheet instead of some tangible thing that exists that you're making a choice. And it feels worse. I don't know. I think it feels worse. It feels worse. Bro, look at the shards and shit. Like, look at Diablo 4 crafting, where you've got, like, I've got fucking 500 yellow shards, 200 white shards, all these other shards. You got all these, and it just means fucking nothing. It's just a number. You just, I can click my, like, reroll item this many times before it goes to 0. It doesn't feel the same at all. And I would say it feels worse. I feel like this is like a think you want, but you actually don't want kind of vibe. No, what do you mean? It's not a choice. If it just infinitely stores to your bank, which can store infinite of them, of course you're gonna turn that on. Of course you're gonna turn that on. Why wouldn't you turn that on? Why wouldn't you automatically transfer stackable items to storage when looted? Why would you not do that? What do you mean choice? Carl said, yeah, but wait, it's automatically transferring. Okay, does this tooltip not do what it says it does? Automatically transfer stackable items to storage when looted. It's saying is this not saying it's going to transfer them to your bank when you pick it up off the ground? Is that not what it's saying? Is this not the same as me picking up a transmutation off the ground and it just instantly, magically is not in my inventory but in my bank? Is this not this? Because okay, what does it do then? Yes, no, yes, no, 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 yes, 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 yes. In a tab. Yeah, in a tab. It's a number on a spreadsheet. The item's no longer like it's not tangible, bro. It doesn't feel like an item. It feels like a number. It's like, oh, I need to grind this many mobs. You're not thinking about the opportunity cost of actually the time it takes to loot it. You're not feeling the weight, bro. You're just not feeling the weight at all. It's just kill monsters, number go up. I have 2,100 of this number. I don't think you understand. You're missing my argument. Oh, turn it off. Oh, turn it off. Oh, turn it off. Now you've got to click a button and it instantly stores infinite of the stuff in a number in a spreadsheet. I mean, I just don't think it's good. I think it's a bad system. I think ruins items. It ruins items. I'm okay with it happening with one thing like gold or like a very specific currency that you're gonna drop lots of. I'm okay with it happening with gold. Gold is only like just one or two things, but even then, honestly, bro, gold stacks where you actually just hold gold as an item is kind of cool. And having everything itemized, I think is even it's one of those things where character materials, common shards, runes, glyphs. Rare shards, runes, glyphs, keys,
so that when you pick up crafting items like shards, they will immediately go to your crafting materials
plus 10, bro, plus 10
panel. Both of these updates make inventory management much nicer and needing to be dealt with much less frequently.
Yeah.
For Gamepad, we have completely...
I'm saying you think you want this, but you don't. But hey, it's one of those things where this is the system they've gone with, and they obviously need all these shards, and people always complaining about it. Hey, fair enough. Yeah, you think you want it, but you don't. Hey, it's cool. They should just design a system where you don't need 500,000 different types of shards. Let's be real.
Reworked skill targeting, which improves every single skill and skill mutation, making targeting and using abilities more intuitive and responsive. We can also now make updates to individual skills targeting much more easily.
I played Diablo 4. Items, item materials, all that shit has no weight and feels like nothing. I'm telling you, I don't like this whole fucking.
Shut up, bitch!
Press C in your inventory, a little arrow to the side. Oh, I've got 7,200 of this thing, 2,100 of this thing, 150 of those things, and it ain't it, man. Versus like I got a fucking orb in my bank that I can grab out. I grab the orb. I put the orb on the item. Okay, it's just not.
Shut up,
it's
bitch.
not that weight, right? That tangibility, that itemization matters. Okay, and also guess what? Whenever you're in a map, because guess what? Do you know that GGG or someone they can make you have infinite inventory space? They could also make it so loot automatically loots. They can make it so specific things loot, and then you could even set up smart salvaging so it instantly fucking disenchant stuff, and it puts in the. They can do all that. You can do that. Any game can do that. It's just it's worse. Believe it or not, inventory management and thinking about what you're looting and what you're not gonna loot. Okay, well how the fuck did I turn the shit off? Holy fuck! I'll ban these.
Shut up, bitch!
You're looting 150,000 points. It's one of the things where you think you want like full automation, like you just want the whole thing to be autonomous and just. Bro, you just never have to open your inventory. You just kill monsters. You don't have to think about looting anything. It just all auto loots. Everything just auto disenchants. Everything goes to a little spreadsheet and neat thing. But you don't actually want it. You don't actually want it, brother.
So we'll be looking for your feedback and improving these even further. There are a ton of additional updates and fixes in Season 2, and we invite you to read the full patch notes on our forum. Along with all these incredible updates coming in Season 2, we're excited to announce a new batch of supporter packs known as the Woven series. Each of these 4 supporter packs offers new and unique ways to customize your appearance, and the team has cooked up some pretty amazing offerings. Starting with the Woven Traveler pack. We really wanted our entry-level pack to have some pretty awesome stuff. And what better way to travel through Atera than with your own capybara pet? That's right, it wasn't an April Fool's joke after all. You will also score 2 new weapon cosmetics, a backslot cosmetic, and all new color arrangements for your evade skill. That's right, with Season 2, we've implemented skill cosmetics, and you'll find many more in the in-game store. The Woven Templar is the next tier in the Woven series and brings some serious heat. To start, you get all of the cosmetics from the Woven Traveler, and then, to kick off the Templar pack, we start with a full cosmetic armor set known as the Bronze Scale Plate. But the fire doesn't stop there. You're also getting Yoshok's Destroyer, a massive 2-handed hammer cosmetic, a new portal skin, another fiery evade cosmetic, and the first look at the fire footprint cosmetic, and an additional 100 Epoch points to use in the in-game cosmetic shop. Up next, and second tier in the Woven series, is the Woven Vanquisher Supporter Pack, and this pack is charged and ready. As with the previous tiers, the Woven Vanquisher Supporter Pack also includes all cosmetic items from the Woven Templar and Woven Traveler packs. Kicking off the Woven Vanquishers pack, players will...
I'm honest, I don't really give a fuck. the Woven Legend, the Ultra Pack. What is at the end?
We're also adding many more items you can purchase with Epoch points in the store, including those awesome new skill cosmetic effects. We sincerely appreciate your support and hope you enjoy Last Epoch Season 2. Thank you for your patience, as this one took a bit longer to get out, but we hope that the wait was worth it, and we'll aim to be delivering seasonal patches more quickly going forward. Thank you for your support, and we'll see you in Atera for the launch of Tombs of the Erased on April 17th.
Okay. There, bro. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So we got some sort of maps. Definitely like that one thing where you can buy us item drops by putting items into a fucking slot inside the tree. That's sick. Some sort of mapping system. You know? Okay. Bunch of ways to modify items. Way to customize your set items a little bit more. I think just delete set items. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It looks alright. Looks alright.